Imagine checking your bank account on a Tuesday morning, expecting your normal retirement direct deposit. Instead, without any phase-in period or advanced warning, your monthly income has dropped by exactly 22. Over the next 75 years, the program's total debt gap is projected at $30 trillion. That deficit grew by $4 trillion in a single 12-month period. The 2026 data transforms the social safety net's collapse into a definitive financial cliff, hitting current workers in exactly 6 years. This abstract balance scale shows how the cash actually flows. Social Security does not hold your individual payroll taxes in a personal vault. It is a pay-as-you-go system. The taxes collected from people working right now are instantly dissolving into benefits to pay people retired right now. In 1960, the demographic math made this work easily. There were 5 active workers supporting every single beneficiary. The scale was stable. Today, that ratio has collapsed to just 2.9 workers per beneficiary. By the year 2070, projections show it dropping to 2.2. The weight on the system is entirely lopsided. The trustees introduced another harsh variable this year. They adjusted long-term fertility assumptions down to 1.75 children per woman. Fewer children being born today means a smaller pool of future taxpayers entering the workforce in 2 decades. The large base of contributors that built the system in the mid-20th century has vanished. The demographic buffer is gone, and the math has reached a breaking point. Behind closed doors at the Social Security Administration, technicians treat the crisis as a rigid math problem. The equation is simple. We either increase revenue coming in, or we decrease expenditures going out. The first revenue lever targets the taxable maximum cap, a solution proposed by Commissioner Martin O'Malley. Right now, the 12.4% payroll tax stops applying to any wages over $184,500. Applying the tax to all income above that line closes roughly 70 to 75% of the entire shortfall. Pulling this lever creates a significant tax hike on high-earning professionals. It also removes the historical link between the taxes you pay into the system and the proportional benefits you receive when you retire. The second revenue lever is a direct increase to the overall payroll tax rate. An immediate, permanent increase of 4.42% achieves complete solvency for the next 75 years. While that balances the equation, it requires an immediate pay cut for every working American. A worker making $50,000 a year would lose over $1,100 in take-home pay, creating a significant political barrier. Moving to the expenditure side, Lever 3 involves raising the full retirement age from 67 up to 69 or 70. Depending on the speed of the phasing, this closes 20 to 30% of the long-term funding gap. This creates a benefit cut for future retirees. It disproportionately impacts blue-collar workers, who have lower overall life expectancies and cannot physically perform manual labor into their 70s. This bar chart shows how Lever 4, means testing, modifies the payout formulas. It targets the top 20% of lifelong earners, shrinking their future payouts while leaving lower-income columns static. This approach eliminates 35% of the deficit. This approach repositions Social Security from a universal insurance program that everyone pays into and benefits from into a targeted welfare system based on financial need. The final lever involves diverting a portion of the trust fund away from government bonds and into higher-yielding private equities. This closes 15 to 20% of the gap, but exposes the foundational bedrock of American retirement to direct market risk. Every one of these 5 levers is mathematically viable. Insolvency is a choice. We simply have to pick a combination of trade-offs. If the solutions are on the table, why is the timer still counting down? Because the actuary's math is being impacted by political gridlock and vote-seeking legislation. Take the recently passed One Big Beautiful Bill Act. It created a popular $6,000 standard deduction for seniors, but by dropping their tax liability to zero, it reduced the amount of income taxes collected on Social Security benefits, money that legally flows back into the trust fund. That specific revenue drop moved the insolvency date up from 2033 to 2032. An analysis by the Brookings Institution points out a chronological reality. A senator running for a 6-year term right now, in the 2026 midterms, will be sitting in office on the exact day the fund goes bankrupt. Washington is actively making the problem worse, as short-term political popularity remains at odds with long-term structural stability. We have been at this exact edge before. In the early 1980s, the Social Security system was just months away from total financial failure, crippled by intense partisan gridlock. But in 1983, President Ronald Reagan and Speaker of the House Tip O'Neill forged a massive bipartisan compromise. They pulled multiple levers at once, raising the payroll tax rate and gradually increasing the retirement age, ensuring the system survived for the next 40 years. The mathematical roadmap is finished, and the solutions are ready. Ensuring Social Security's survival depends on leaders replicating the courage of 1983, before the 6-year clock hit zero.